All right, here we are again in Metepec, and let's do a little bit of an update on some of the progress that we've got going with the houses here. This one's not quite finished on the outside as far as cosmetics go and everything, but let's take a look at some of the other stuff. So this was the first one that we actually built, and it looks like, yeah, you can see the water tank and everything that's up on the top. It's pretty much done. Like I said, just a few cosmetic things that have to be done. So let's take a walk inside here. So as you can see, the corners and everything are solid concrete, and then every so many feet, as you'll see right there, there's another post, and then there's the beam that runs around the top, and then there's a concrete roof on top of that. As you can see right there, that's for holding the water tank. That huge tank up there will hold quite a bit of weight in water, so that's holding all of that. So basically your water pressure is nothing more than gravity. Here are some of the connections for the sewage and everything that will be made shortly. So the windows, we actually pay people to come and they basically take the measurements and construct the windows and doors and everything to fit the hole. So they have a general size that the guys will build everything with. And here's a look in the bathroom. Of course, we have our nice trusty toilet here. The shower is just that right on the wall. So the floor itself actually has a drain. And so you would just come in here, and this whole room is essentially the shower. Your sink is right there. You know, it's all electrical, the plumbing, it's all contained right here. Here we have on this wall, this would be actually like your kitchen window, and that's the drain. So you have a drain line right there, as you can see. That's for the kitchen sink, so they'll be putting that in at some point. They'll actually start moving into this house here pretty quick. Yeah, they'll start moving into the house here pretty quickly. There's just a few minor things, like so they kind of build the walls and everything, and as you can see, there's like some little dark corners near the windows. That's where they have to actually like knock out some of the concrete so that the metal tabs that secure the window can go in there, and then they'll end up doing some new work on that where they'll match the stucco, because they did a really good job on the walls, as you can see. You know, it's a fantastic job. They did great work on the stucco, metal roofing. So I guess in a nutshell, that's one of our simple houses. I'll move on from here to the next house, and we'll take a look at that one. It had a little bit different situation, and the third house, when we take a look at the third house, you'll see that that was a different situation as well. Okay, here we are, house number 2. This is Marina's house. Let's go ahead and take a look inside. And so here we are at Marina's house, and Ronaldo's coming to unlock the door right now, so we'll have a look inside at how that's turned out. It's definitely beautiful on the outside. He did some really great work here. Some really impressive stuff on the building tie-in and stuff. Here's a look at kind of what she has to deal with right now. This is inside the existing structure. So this is basically just a tin building that they've put together. Okay. And so here, you know, that's the bathroom window, of course, and your water. The water tank is up on top. It's ready to go. I'm not sure that she's supplied it with water yet, but we'll find out. Okay, and as you can see, this is very much like the first house. The same construction style with the roof and everything. The third house is going to be much like that. So, you know, in putting in the window, there were some small issues here. He'll come back and fix that. But the walls are all pretty much finished out. They'll need some paint. The floor is beginning to dry. You can see it's much darker. Anyway, you want to make sure that the floor does not crack. And this process of a very slow drying time makes for a very solid concrete, and it doesn't crack like it does in the US, where they just pour the slab first and build on top of it. Let's take a look inside the restroom. And so it looks to be the same thing as the other one. You have your shower on the wall, the sink, toilet, floor drain, everything you need all in one. It's kind of like an RV, almost like an RV bathroom in that regard. Yeah, and when I spoke with her earlier, she didn't have the keys. The contractor actually had the keys, so she's waiting patiently, and she's ready to move out of that tin building and move in here. And I can see why. This foot-thick concrete walls and everything here are much cooler. There's definitely a difference in temperature between here and there. Anyway, so we're outside the third house, and this one's a little bigger, but as you can see, they too have the tin structure that someone came and built in a few of these places. So let's take a look inside, or outside. So they were lucky in that their bathroom was already separate, so for the layout, it made sense for us to actually make this a little bit bigger. So we ended up making a bigger house just because it was easier to do that way. So where the other structures were just a square structure, this one already had the bathroom, which is right here. So the bathroom is actually separate, and it's actually even a little bit bigger bathroom. So as you can see, the floor is still very black, and this will remain that way for probably a couple of weeks before it starts lightening up, because they pour the floor last. And here is the bathroom, of course, and this is the same thing as before, the same kind of layout, where you have the shower just built into the wall, sink over here in the corner, and then here's your toilet. Bathroom window, just like in the US. Like, you don't need a fart fan if you have a window. So, this is actually quite a bit bigger room here. So as you can see, this is a little bit bigger room if we take a look around. And here is the quarters that they were living in before. So that's what's remaining. We took one wall out. So they'll be moving all that in here, and they'll have much more room in a much nicer and cooler place. So I'm sure they're looking forward to that. So this window, I guess you can see, doesn't have the glass or anything yet, but you know, burglar bars. It's all set up for security. Wiring, you get your lights, switches, plugs on the wall.